Okay.
Ja, dat is beter. Let's rock and roll.
We're in the first Philips factory, and I've been here before. This is the Philips Museum, and this is actually the part where everything started.
Philips started as a family business with Gerard Philips, who started the company in 1891. He really was the engineer and the scientist and the technician and the production man. And his younger brother, Anton Philips, was really the entrepreneur and the salesman, the businessman. And together they really made the company great. Everything started with electric light. Philips was very keen on producing high-quality electric lamps. They really mastered the producing electric lighting. And if you mastered all those disciplines involved, like vacuum technology, chemistry, physics, electricity, and a good production process, then you could also develop and make other kinds of lamps. For example, X-ray tubes or radio lamps, radio valves. And that's exactly what Philips did. But the family feeling, certainly in those early years, was very strong, because also the employees felt as belonging, as being part of a family. Better housing and better living conditions and recreational conditions, but also the example of the fight against tuberculosis. So Philips screened all the employees, and not only the employees, but also the complete families of the employees. And after that, all of the inhabitants of Eindhoven. And the result was, and that's very important, the result was that about 70% less casualties on tuberculosis than in other Dutch cities. 70% less.
First feeling I think of Philips is innovative. Out there pushing the limits, and I would say of course now with healthcare, it's clearly a healthcare company that really is putting new products on the market that are really trying to solve big problems. I think Philips in my day was solving different big problems. If you think the technology they were introducing from cassette to a CD to DVDs, etc., it was also a way of moving on always with looking for what's next around the corner. And I think that was what we recognised. Philips with the big research group was very famous. We always knew the thousands of patents every year that they were developing. And I think that fame of being such an innovative company was something I felt very appealing towards. And we all felt very proud to be part of that organisation as a result of that.
1914 is a special year because on the initiative of Gerard Philips, Philips started the physical laboratories. This was very important also for the company because from that moment on, Philips had inventions of their own. That's how Philips developed from a purely lamp factory, first 25 years, into a broad technical company.
Philips.
Here we are at Philips Historical Products. It's a kind of a product archive of Philips. You can also say that this is the treasure room of Eindhoven. Well, you must imagine radio before the invention of internet. This was the way you could receive the whole world in your living room. It really was a technological marvel. Now here you see some very great examples of radio sets that Philips has designed and made over the years.
There you had a product coming out of the 20s, early 30s. You've got the cassette creation in the 60s from Philips and the jewel box, which we've got here. The designer of which is a Philips creation and innovation in the 60s.
I once went on a holiday with a friend of mine. We went to Turkey by car, and that was a long trip. But we only had 3 cassettes with us. One was very experimental music because he's a composer and he had some very modern composition music, and the other one was the Style Council, and then the third one. So we played those tracks over and over and over again.
Meet the easiest to operate tape recorder in the world. Philips cassette loading battery recorder. It's easy because tape comes in compact cassettes that you clip in.
Keith Richards came home and he was rather drunk or in another state of mind, but not very. But he sat on his bed, took his guitar and played a few notes, and then he fell asleep. And the next morning he got out of bed and he saw his little Philips cassette player that was standing alongside his bed. And he looked at it and he said, "Hey, the tape is on its end. Probably I have recorded something, but I can't remember a thing of it." So he pushed rewind and then play, and then he heard da 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 da. And in his autobiography he says, "I've written satisfaction in my sleep. I had no idea I had written it. It's only thank God for the little Philips cassette player."
Philips presenteert Compact Disc, een Nederlandse vinding. Eenvoudig te bedienen, zonder tikken, zonder krassen, zonder ruis. Philips Compact Disc voor in de huiskamer of om mee te nemen met stereo radio cassette recorder. Met Philips Compact Disc haal je eruit wat erin zit.
Philips has been very big in innovations, of course, in audio. It started with the compact cassette, of course, in the 60s, and later on a huge success with CD and later on DVD, of course, which really made Philips a leading brand in audio and later also in video.
Philips was a big part in that because they were there at the right time at the right place, I think.
But the brand name and the brand relevance, I think, is still amazingly strong. So that's really a feather in the cap for the company to have been able to retain that over 100 plus years.
The first thing is that it is quite unbelievable that a company like Philips still exists after 100 years. It's not normal. If you look at how many companies, big names disappear in a period of some decades, it is unbelievable.
I think that branding, the brand recognition, the name Philips, the logo, the trademark, they're ubiquitous. They really are everywhere.
Well, it's quite remarkable that a company in a high competitive market is still relevant today.
We're sitting in the middle of the ADO studio to give some inspiration into some of the background work that we did to prepare the products. I think in my own bedroom back as a teenager, I had a big ghetto plaster and a record player and a wall full of vinyl and tape. And actually my neighbour is still a friend. We used to turn the speakers towards each other's rooms across the street to play a new vinyl purchase or whatever it was. So a lot of audio in my youth. The first Philips product that I remember as a child was a shaver that my dad had at the time.
The mystery of double shaving technology. It's Philishave. Feel it, live it, now.
I joined Philips in 1980. I was a young designer. I was 25 years old. And I started as a product designer, which was what my education had been back in Australia. I had the fortune of being in a tiny, small group, 8 people, and I was given the role of designing all of the lady shavers and all the hair dryers.
En la toilette de toda mujer moderna, Lady Shave, el más moderno aliado secreto de su cuidado personal. Cómoda y rápidamente, la Lady Shave descubre la suavidad de su piel y conquista la libertad de sus movimientos.
Moving sound was introduced in the mid-80s. Philips was known for black boxes and the more traditional looking product. So to convince Philips that we needed to look into a different market, the youth market, and to come up with a different solution, that was really quite a staggering step to take in that mid-80s era.
And they brought the moving sound platform and ran with it for 5 or 6 years with great success. And it made a mini cult of that product range, not just in Europe, but also in Asia. We have to learn from that in order to be as bold and courageous today. Futuristic space age form language, which was ultimately bright yellow in my memory, and I remember the pretty pure simplicity of the geometry.
It starts with a handle which is so grippable, but so integrated into the product itself. The plastic moulds into the handle going around. It's those sort of things, those sort of subtleties which I think was so recognisable for me. Working on the battery pack and developing those curves around the back of the batteries, I was so surprised we could actually do that and get it and have it happen and go into production that way. And the fact that it all felt one completely encased, gelled solution, that everything fitted together in the obvious way that it should fit. Nothing felt out of place. Even the red dot on the antenna, the fact that you've got something to pull up, you close it down, it integrates back into the body of the product. I think all that was just sort of the cream on the cake as well. Important to the Youth Task Force was through the fact that market research was showing that we were as a company, we were really losing the youth as a marketable group, and recognising that our future for the coming 10, 20 years would require those youth to maintain their interest in Philips as a company. There was more element of fun attached to it. They were looking at youth as a specific market group. You cannot avoid seeing that design was having an impact. And I think that the task force, Philips leadership, got on board with this. And once they could see that the businesses were also prepared to say, we can see volumes of sales in something, that's when they realised that design could be a major driver in the combination of design and good engineering. We visit design schools looking for talent that we'd like to approach to say, are you interested when you've graduated to come and work for us? The graduation shows is really the opportunity for us to go and visit the schools and see what they've been doing. In the case of Graham, he was working at Kingston Polytechnic, and they had a relationship with a local Philips organisation in Croydon in England, who had set a project around form following meaning. So it was a perfect match for them to be working on this, and Graham was part of the student body at that point. For him, it all fell into place. I was working in the audio division already for a few years, so I was the lucky one who got the assignment to take Graham's design and work with the engineers to actually make this a commercial product that we could bring into production. And this is when the task force said, I reckon we should take the sketches further and bring it into sort of the pre-production phase. That's when I got involved. And this is the first sketch, the sketches that we were bringing out to really show what this product could look like. That's the first generation of the roller radio. But very quickly, there was further discussion within the Youth Task Force about could we not combine other products and bring them under an umbrella, which was then given the title Moving Sound. We get a challenge, we lock ourselves away, we bring the pizzas in, white papers are out, the magic markers are there, we're drawing arrays, sketching, chatting, music's playing, and you're generating lots of great ideas, and sparks pop out of that, and thoughts come out which you could never do individually. The roller radio had come onto the market, but now we integrated it into a part of a range. So this is really the first generation. This is range 2. And range 2, we already started to play with something new, and what the main difference was here, the actual plastic moulding had little speckles in them. You can't see them so well in the photograph, but if you look closely, they're actually got tiny little particles inside them. So the plastic had more qualities, a more three-dimensional quality. Now generation 3, and you can see here that it's become chic, it's got white, and it's a pure white now, so it's a really refined. I think we've refined as well. The market was refining probably 3 years into the Moving Sound range. You see the roller radio's even got a new version, which we call the Baller. And then we come up to the final one, which was the one that almost killed us in the process, because this is using a paint finish here, which is a very complicated process to apply, but really this metallic-y effect was really very special. And as you can see, there's a little chain, a little Moving Sound token that's added to each product as well. So again, there were extra elements being brought to the Moving Sound. To see it going into shops all around the world, to see it on the TV in commercials, you can't get a better success in terms of we've generated this as a team, and we're seeing it wherever we go. So it was in all the magazines, all the newspapers, all the types of marketing communication you would hope to see it.
The new launch of Moving Sound is hinged largely on the roller radio, because it was the initial product 40 years ago. It's by far the most iconic. They need to be recognisable, ideally picked up in some way by the media, but ultimately we need the consumers to help us sell this product.
I know that ecology, sustainability is a very key part of where the new generations are coming through.
Sustainability is obviously top of mind, and finally the consumer is also more interested to see it expressed on the shelf. When we talk about the materials, high percentage plastics is very much the way to go, we believe. So we have 85% PCR on the Moving Sound plastic parts. Another point is when an object has a battery, there will be guidance coming in that you need to be able to repair there, and basically is engineered in a way that will give the consumers a lifetime of use.
I hope that Philips Sound and my dreams and would be that it's around for a lot longer, that it survives, that we continue to take the innovations and see what comes next.
We have a distinct role to play. We have a European brand, a European design team. We have a position there with a lot of heritage at our back, and I express the push and desire that we can be more distinct, more iconic, and more visible in the market.
If anything, I'm disappointed. I'm looking back at black boxes again that are in the shops today. There are colours when it comes to some of the headphones and the in-ears and that, but there's not much when you talk about the actual portable audio type of products that excites me. So I think it's a good time that we can now come out with something that is going to shake again the world we're in and the market that we have in front of us, to maybe say, okay, that it's a different product, it's a digital product, but let's make it more fun to own, to possess, to want to have as well.
I would very much like that this was seen as the point where things really started to happen.
describe my job, my former job, because I'm retired now, but actually it would be called acoustic engineer, which means that it's an engineer working on acoustics. I was always interested in sound. Philips was of course the big employer in the south of the Netherlands where I lived and where I had my education. I started at Philips Research, the Philips Nat Lab at the time, and it was a big development laboratory. There's a lot of activity going on and it's very, very interesting to be part of that. The whole idea of experimenting was very important for Philips, I think. I started in the Institute of Perception Research, a cooperation between Philips and the Technical University of Eindhoven. I did a lot of listening tests, involved in listening tests for all kinds of different products. So we did listening tests for headphones, for sound bars, for CDRCRs, which are the portable radio recorders.
It's easy because it's portable. Take it with you anywhere. Record all the sounds you want.
Philips want to have a good sound and achieve this by training their engineers. So the people that became golden ears, they were used as a measurement instrument for doing listening tests. These listening tests were used in the development of products for judging the sound quality. The majority of golden ears preferred, hopefully, the Philips product. No, don't. Ah. This number that comes drums comes in, so you have the attack of the drums, for instance. So if the attack is straight, you have the high frequencies, the voice. The voice should be natural. Also the separation of the different instruments. So you have a left and right channel. So you, in the sound stage, it should be on the right position. Now the drums. Left and right. Guitar is positioned here a bit. The bass drum should be tight. The high frequency tones of the hi-hat of the drums. So the sound stage should be balanced. There shouldn't be no too much bass, there should not be too much high frequencies. The cushions and the whole feel is also very important.
So today we are at TP Vision design offices, and that's where all the interactions between design and acoustic happen. Personally, I've really enjoyed that synergy that can happen. Fidelio bridging sound, design and experience as the three main pillars was intentionally showing that sound and design was actually very, very working hand in hand from very early stage of the product.
I think when Philips Fidelio products are a fantastic success is basically when the coming together of a unique form or archetype with innovative use of materials are coming together in a format that is seen as relevant to consumers.
So that they can make products that are recognized in the market as good products.
We are here today to celebrate 100 years of Philips sound.
Fidelio brand of Philips was actually meant to be the high-end part of the Philips audio range.
Fidelio came in a picture at a time where Philips was very broad in terms of image as a brand. So people would recognize this is Philips audio, it's nothing else. I think the way we design Fidelio acoustic concepts or Fidelio sound is essentially to give the best sound possible to mass market consumers.
Fidelio was launched by the audio team, I think, around about 15 years ago, thereabouts. And it was a realization that in the end Philips is quite a mainstream brand, so we need to work with partners, which we do until this day.
I would say when we design acoustic concepts that most of the time the consumer is really in the middle of it, simply because Sound performance or even sound quality is always subjective and not only about people's taste and preference, but also how they use the product. So which kind of room we expected to have this product in, what kind of people we're targeting. Are they young people or elderly people, or is it like a household where we expect to have more than one person? All this is taken into account to design not only a good sounding product, but a good sounding product in the right context. We probed with those people what is a sound balance that they like, and it was really nice. We had like basically they could listen to music and they had a 2D pad and they could move around their finger, but they didn't know what happened in the background. They only heard difference in balance, and all we asked is, can you stop when you feel the sound is right for you? And we probed like more than 1,000 people and ended up with statistically relevant data where we could see that a lot of people stopped at a similar area, a specific audio curve. And my biggest hope is to maintain that direction that we set with Fidelio and to be able to really revive that spirit about innovation, but not just innovation, relevant innovation, sometimes breakthrough innovation.
You need all three corners, so development, design and marketing, together with sales to make this a success.
Fidelio put Philips in the market as a serious audio brand, a very professional company.
Fidelio, the intention was to show what Philips Audio was about. I think the idea was really to try and be more focused in terms of which product would deliver the Philips brand image message. So in that sense, I think Fidelio still has the same aim, and we still safeguard these values that Fidelio stands for. This is still what Philips represents today.
In all my work life, I always found it very interesting to be part of something which was bigger than myself. My boss said on an evening, Bibo, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, you have to come into my office. So the next morning at 8 o'clock, I was in the office. There was my boss sitting behind his desk with a newspaper. And he said to me, so, you're here now for how long? I said, 4.5 years. Well, now it's time to get to work. 2 weeks later, I was the boss of a little audio factory in Belgium. Being part of a company at that time, which was so big and so relevant in the industry, is just fun.
In the archives, you are really in connection with the past. Well, sometimes I get goosebumps.
Now, what the reason that I that I really became involved in audio was at a time that Philips really wanted to become a very more high-end brand in audio. And Philips was a sponsor of Dire Straits. Fantastic, we went to concerts, they even came and I think they performed here somewhere in Eindhoven for us. And so we felt like, wow, we are on the top of the world, you know.
I've been very lucky working for Philips because most of my career I've had complete freedom to do what I want within the constraints of having a job.
We always found an ear, we were able to present, we were able to push the limits, and I think management was open to listen and to adjust and change with the ways, and I think together we made good steps in that process.
We are this moment at TP Vision Amsterdam office. The sound, you can really feel the emotion that movie or the scene would like to deliver. When you are listening to the sound, you will sit there and really pay attention to listen or to enjoy. TPV is an Asian company, but we are also running global business. That means we understand the market, we understand the product. That's where we start as an Asian company. But when we work with Philips, I think Philips' root is pretty European. So that is why we have our design team, we have our engineering team sitting here. So we have quite a multicultural teams here. So we still respect what is needed in Europe. TP Vision with Philips is for sure working for long term. You need an innovation to create new features or to fulfill the demand from consumers.
As a design team, how we want to be distinct, bringing products under the Philips Audio brand. We want to be adding innovation in a meaningful way.
To work really closely, to continue to initiate more activities for social responsibility, but meanwhile, we do not forget innovation, not just in product itself, but also for sustainability. I think we should do something beyond the local regulation. We have the right selection or carefully selection about the raw material. We make sure the material we select is recyclable and it should not create permanent damage to our planet. So that is very basic thing we do. And the second is, in addition to the material selection, we try to also reduce the weight.
Always being relevant with respect to the functionalities and the product and the features and functions that the product delivers. And two is making sure that as soon as the product becomes basically end of life, that we have a responsible way of disposing of it.
As a company, we would like to be very sure, even to guarantee that our product fulfill and actually align with the local regulation.
So using the right materials to make products, make sure that they are disassemblable for recycling. We use a lot of high percentage post-consumer recycled plastics.
We are making a commitment to fulfill all kinds of needs and demand in their daily life. And we would like to redefine where we are going to grow in our business towards our customers.
As long as we remain on track as we are today, I'm quite confident that Philips Audio will still be there.
There's so many listening experience that we have to bring to the masses, basically, that they have yet to experience.
I wouldn't say just nostalgia, but there's a lot of warmth about what we stand for. A lot of people's memories of tape players, for example, CD players, and people also resonate the Philips brand as that of reassurance. So they know we're a dependable, strong brand. We have a good future.
Philips sound will never go wrong.
The brand recognition, the brand reputation, the distribution that they have, the knowledge that is still in the heads of people who are still working in the company who's currently using audio, gives it a lot of opportunities to really create a business for the future.
I feel pride in the things that were established in the past, but also the things that we are doing now in the present and in the future. You know, that it's just great to be part of it.
It just shows you that the opportunities to move forward with sound I'm hoping that the Philips sound takes that by the gun and just moves on with it as well.
There's ample opportunities there.
If I were to describe Philips audio in 3 words, for sure European would be one word.
Innovative to start with.
Unique.
Excited, being part of it.
Daring, I'd say, is the second one.
Transparency.
Entrepreneurial.
Sustainable.
And I guess the third one is beauty.
A twist of warmth.
And the trust to consumers.
Great sound, wide distribution, great reputation.